This is your daily stimulus check update information. Lots of data coming out with people in Washington and Congress. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, the head of the Democratic votes in Congress, are trying to push this giant $3.5 trillion stimulus budget plan. This isn't really a giant stimulus, it's just a budget plan. And I think what they're going to try to do in this is try to sneak in possibly a fourth stimulus check. Now, this is something they haven't really come out and said it, but I think they're trying to hide it from the Republicans, because I don't think the Republicans really want to vote on another giant stimulus plan for everybody. So I think the Democrats are trying to sneak this in. It's huge. It's a big bill, $3.5 trillion. There's also $1.2 trillion infrastructure plan that's already been voted on. The Senate has already voted on that. That's going to be going over to the House so they can vote on it. Now, they're in recess right now, or they're in break or whatever they are. But Nancy Pelosi brought a lot of them back to vote on this big bill. And so I want to cover a lot of the details of the news that's happening right now. Some of the states right now are coming out and giving out stimulus checks. Looks like today, one of the states is actually going to be sending out more stimulus to the people in that area. So depending on where you're at in the country, you could be receiving another stimulus. It could be just deposited right into your bank account if you have a bank account set up. If not, they'll just mail a check out to you. So there is a lot of details. So let me cover what's happening with stimulus right now and what's going on with this giant $3.5 trillion stimulus infrastructure plan that Congress is trying to get passed. So it looks like these states are finally stepping up and doing the right thing. Each state received billions and billions of dollars. Texas received $35 billion, I believe. California, I think $30 billion. I think Florida got $9 billion. Every state you're in, there was tons of billions and billions of dollars sent by the federal government into your state's treasury. And so every state, if they're not sending out stimulus checks, they should be sending out payments. California is going to be sending out $600 to those that qualify, $75,000 or less, and then I think it's $150,000 for joint couples. But individually, it's $75,000. It's $600. I think they're going out today. Those are the Golden State stimulus checks. If you have dependents in there, children, I think it's $500 per dependent. I'm not sure if it's one time per child or if it's for every child. I mean, if it's for every child, it'd be great. California is the only state in the United States that actually is sending out stimulus like the federal government did. Now, the other states are sending out checks, but they're going to individual. They're more targeted. So for example, Colorado is sending out $375 to those that received one unemployment payment. You got Maryland that if people had earned income tax credit, they're receiving $500 for families and $300 for individuals. And then you have New Mexico. I think New Mexico is getting $750 checks for about 4,000 people. Now, New Mexico received $1.8 billion in the American Rescue Plan, and they're only spending $5 million of that dollars to the people in that state. Seems a little low. I know a lot of these states they're not really utilizing that billions that they got. Now, Florida, they're doing something a little differently. They're going to be sending out $1,000 bonus checks to teachers, EFTs, police, a lot of frontline workers, EMTs, and then teachers and administrators are also going to be getting that $1,000 payment. Georgia, $1,000 payments to teachers, $500 to part-time teachers. Michigan, $500 for hazard pay. You know, it does pay if you are in the end, if you're a teacher, or if you're an administrator. It looks like those people are going to be getting paid very well as far as the bonuses. Now, in New York, they set aside $2.1 billion for undocumented workers. Tennessee is another state, $1,000 payments sent out to teachers. And then Texas, individually, cities are sending out payments. They're going to be bumping up their percentage for some of the cities as far as their employment. One of the biggest ones I've seen is $2,000 payments going out to staff to try to get them coming back to the classroom. So definitely good news for the cities in Texas. Now, one of the other things of stimulus that's really going out right now is part of Joe Biden's American Rescue Plan, which is the child tax credit. If you do have children under the age of 6, you're getting a $3,600 payment, depending on eligibility, but that's the payment that's going out. So it does pay to have children right now. Any kids between the age of 6 and 17 are going to be getting $3,000 check. And what they've done is they divided the half of the payment up into monthly payments to give you a monthly payment sent out. I think going down the road, this big giant infrastructure plan, or maybe this $3.5 billion budget plan, it looks like if they can get that passed, that they might put in this fourth stimulus check, and they might extend out the child tax credit through the year 2025. So that means that it wouldn't be a lump sum at the end of the year. It would actually be a monthly payment coming in. That's, to me, it's going to be the precursor for some type of universal basic income. which I think is coming down the road. I just don't know how they're going to try to implement it. I don't think they can just come out one day and say, yeah, everybody's getting some type of monthly payment. I think they have to almost sneak it in. I think Nancy Pelosi and them are trying to sneak in a monthly payment system inside of this $3.5 trillion budget plan. But the reason why they're sneaking it in, I believe, this is my personal opinion, is because the Republicans aren't going to be on board with sending out more stimulus. In fact, the Republicans aren't in the majority right now, so they don't want to spend any more money. But they did vote on the reconciliation. There was a lot of Republican support for that. So if you do have children, look for those payments to come in on a monthly basis. And speaking of that budget plan, looks like it's going to be tough for President Biden to get out of this whole craziness going on in Afghanistan. But it looks like Nancy Pelosi will try to get this $3.5 trillion proposal done and get it out. Congress is the only one that really can create these bills and get more stimulus out to everybody. They have to wait to get everybody on board, and they got to pass a bill, and then it goes to President Biden's desk, and then the Treasury can finally start sending payments out. Now, the Treasury already has the system set up, so when Congress finally gets the new payments going out, fourth stimulus check, or whether it be another, more stimulus going out, they already have the system set up. So all you have to do is just get the approval from the president or get the approval from Congress to send out payments. People have the bank accounts, people have their address set up. I believe in the future they're going to come out with some type of Fed Now coin or a stable coin where they drop an app into your phone and they deposit the money into there. I've been hearing rumors where if they do that, then they're going to force you to spend that money within a certain amount of time, which would be crazy, but that would get the velocity of money going quickly if they could do that. They're going to have to drop that money into there and just say, okay, here's, everybody has $1,000. Now you have to go spend it within a week, or you spend it within 10 days. That's something that I think that's coming down the road. It's just the way we're at in the digital world right now. Because right now Congress, it takes them forever to get these bills passed. They go on and on trying to go back and forth and try to get these done. If they can get a monthly payment set up to where they can do some type of reconciliation process where they can get these bills passed quicker, or if they can get some type of monthly payment set up, that's going to be the best way for people to get their stimulus payment. And there is this whole new Delta variant, and the economy's slowing. So that is a push for another stimulus check. So people want to know, where's the payments? When are they coming? We just have to wait for Congress to set this up. And right now, $3,200 has already been sent out to most people that do qualify. If you did not get your first or second check, you can use the non-filers tool. It's a free tool on the Treasury website. You can go there and you can use the recovery rebate credit. That will give you those first two checks. If you get the first two checks, then you're automatically going to be getting that third check. So that would be the total of, I guess, $3,200 that be sent out. They might send you a $3,200 check. You can add dependents. So if you have grandparents or you got parents or aunts and uncles and they're dependent on you, well, then what you can do is you can add them to your filings, and you'll get a check for them. And then if you have children, you'll get that child tax credit monthly payment coming in. So it does definitely pay to file your returns if you haven't done so already. If you are SSI, SSDI, Treasury's saying file your returns anyways, put your address in there, put your bank account in there, and you can get a hold of that. And that's the easiest way for parents to get a hold of that money too, is to file the returns and then get that in there. You do have to, I think you have to have a social security number and all that with the federal. I don't know if they do ITIN numbers on the federal as far as getting the kids payments, but you definitely could try it. You can see if it works for you. But I'm always recommending people try to get a bank account if you can. Set up one of the online banks. There's a lot of good ones out there. Just try to set one up, and that way you'll be able to pick up that payment moving forward. One of the things that was really interesting was I was reading about the $1,200 payment that was sent out, the first stimulus check. If you invested that $1,200 into Bitcoin, it would be worth $9,000 right now. So it does pay to invest. One of the big things right now is going to Robinhood or Webull, which is their apps. Robinhood is going to be the biggest right now. They are going to allow you to buy into stocks, and you can buy in a percentage of a stock. You don't necessarily have to buy a full stock. But one of the big stocks right now is going to be Roku, because the whole streaming, everybody's at home. If they start shutting down the economy again, they start closing down businesses, forcing people to stay home, then a lot of these streaming stocks, a lot of these streaming companies are going to do well. So they're recommending, if you get a stimulus check, try to drop it into something like Roku. Go to the Robinhood app, and then you can put your money in there, take that stimulus check, put it in there, buy those stocks. It's good advice. People that did invest that money into good stocks, maybe Tesla or Amazon, back in 2020 when they first received their stimulus, are doing well. I mean, they'd be up probably to take that $1,200 and invest it in Amazon, probably worth maybe $5,000 or $6,000 right now. So that'd be definitely good to do that in the future. If they do send another stimulus check, you might want to try to grab one of these one of these companies and try to pick up. Just let your money grow. If you can get it in there and just leave it there, that's the best. Netflix, Disney, Amazon, all those are going to be really good as far as getting stocks on them. So try to drop your money in there if you can, and then that way you can let that money grow instead of spending it and then never seeing any results from your money. So if you have any questions, you can drop those questions in the comments below. This is your daily stimulus check. Update information for today.